I've been doing academic art for a really long time. I went to a university and I got my degree in oil painting, and now I'm going to an atelier where I'm learning the actual techniques of painting and drawing. And at my university, I was obsessed with the image and finding beautiful things to paint, but I didn't really know how to paint them as good enough as I wanted to, and I didn't know how to improve either. So that's why I went to the atelier. And for the last 2 years at Ravenswood, I have just been really obsessed with becoming a better painter. And I just feel like I've been in school for such a long time. And I think something can happen with that when you just get so obsessed with just wanting to be technically better that you kind of forget why you started this in the first place. And I always knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. I always wanted to be a painter. And I had this diary that I got in first grade around the time when you're really starting to learn how to read and write. And I wrote in it that I wanted to be a painter because I wanted to paint the sky, because I thought the sky was the most beautiful thing in the world. And my tastes have changed a bit since then. I still think the sky is really beautiful, and I'll probably paint a lot of sky paintings. But I then really wanted to paint these really big, epic paintings with really strong narratives, and then little hidden narratives in them if you're really paying attention. But I kind of pushed that all aside, and I just got so obsessed with filling up all my free time with exercises, like following Bridgman and Vanderpool, and just anything that would make me better. And last Monday, we took a trip to the museum, and being around all those really good paintings and sculptures really put that spark back into why I'm doing this. And it's not solely to be a technically good painter. While I think it's really, really important to go to school and figure out how to do good technique, because if you don't know how to paint a good painting, it's going to be really hard to get the image that you want to get across, whether that be an epic narrative or just a beautiful thing that you think is so, like a moment so important that you would spend so much of your time trying to capture it. And while I was at the museum and I was noticing what paintings or sculptures really held me, I kind of figured something out, something that I could add to the list of future paintings that I want to do. And that's this relatability that some of them have, that sense of togetherness that you get from it. And there was this painting of Sargent that it has a man, and he's reclining, kind of sitting back with his head tilted back, and there's a woman in front of him, and she's painting, and they're in this outdoor scene with a waterfall behind them. It kind of looks like a lookout type of view at the side of a trail or something like that. And while I haven't been to that particular waterfall, I have been to places like that, and I feel like Sargent really captured the moment of what it feels like to be at one of those vantage points, where he just captured the quality of light on a midday, and it's like people are kind of like lounging around and just taking in the landscape around them. And I love that. It's really relatable, and I feel you kind of feel that empathy there and that connectiveness that other people, it might not be the same moment, but it definitely reminds you of a moment that's similar. And I think that's really, really powerful. So the museum trip was really good for me. It reminded me why I'm doing this and why I'm going through this, learning this technique. But also at the end of the day, it's also okay to break technique, because it's really all about the image and what the image is going to do for other people.